been one of the strongest voices in America on this issue. So I would really ask all of you to please help me welcome Fred Guttenberg.
Thank you. Before I start, I need to recognize those in this room who are victims of gun violence, people who I just met like Amy and Emily. I'm not sure where they're sitting, but people I consider family now, like April and Phil Shentrup, who lost their daughter in the same shooting that I lost my daughter in. It's not normal what this country is going through. And so I'm really thankful that you all have this going on here today and have this kind of energy behind this event today, because it inspires me to know we're going to fix this. So with that, I'm going to ask everyone to work with me here for a minute. I want you all to go to a happy place. Think of, for the young kids in the room, maybe some kind of romance, or you just got a great grade on your exam. To the technology and business people in the room, think of the big deal that you just did, or to the attorneys, the legal thing that you just solved. And then, of course, to the board members in this room who are looking at how much you just fundraised today and feeling really good. I want you all to get into your happy place. Are you with me? Boom! Just like that. It could have been anyone, but for me, that sound is real. For many in this room, that sound is real. In an instant, in a second, it could still be someone in this room today. That's where we're at in America. I live with that sound and imagining my daughter's final seconds in my head every day. I am a parent who goes through the day hoping my daughter died instantly. Now, how abnormal is that? But the problem is that single shot to my daughter's spinal cord, if she didn't die instantly, it means she suffered. So I have a serious question for all of you. Who here wants to get shot? Good. Then it's your job to work harder than you've ever worked to be part of the change that will ensure those you love and care about won't be the next victims. So my life, my current lane, is to fight every single day going forward to help ensure that none of you are the latest victims of gun violence. I've chosen this lane because reacting to what happened to my daughter is the only way I get to continue being a father to 2 children. I can say Jaime was my daughter. Jaime is my daughter. And just as I react to what happens to my son every single day, I react to what happened to Jaime every day. I am going to continue being her dad. This fight is the way I do it. And to those from the NRA or any other lobby who think they can hurt me with words, that died on February 14th. We're going to take you down. So let me quickly tell you my story. Back in October of 2017, only 4 months before Jaime was killed, I actually lost my brother to the cancer that came from his service in 9/11. My brother ran the triage for 9/11. He was an ER physician. And following his, I believe, 16 days at Ground Zero, he went on to live a really normal, amazing life. And in the world of emergency service, he became a real giant. In 2013, unfortunately, the 9/11 service caught up with him, and he was first diagnosed with cancer. In late 2016, after having surgery, chemo, radiation in 13, the cancer came back, and 2017 was a real rough year. I remember his funeral like it was yesterday. He was buried with full honors from the New York Fire Department. They closed down the highway for the funeral procession. flag over the road, helicopter flyover, 500 people. It was a big deal. And I remember thinking, I'll never be part of another funeral like this one. But I was. On February 14th, Valentine's Day, Day of Love, started in my house like any other day, which in my house meant chaos. You know, my kids were running late, my dogs were being annoying, my wife and I needed to get out the door. That's what I remember about that morning. It's what I don't remember about that morning that haunts me, that is probably part of what pushes me forward every single day. Because I don't remember if while pushing my kids out the door, if I actually said to my daughter and son, I love you. I was so busy pushing them out the door, I don't remember saying it. I didn't think it was going to be the last time. I sent 2 kids to school that day. One of them came home. The other one I buried on February 17th. Thankfully, my son Jesse was not harmed. Jaime fought for her life until the very last second, running down the hallway from an active shooter until that single shot through her spinal cord. I think about her final seconds every day of my life, and what happened to my daughter and doing something about it is now my life's purpose and mission. And to the theme of this room, it is now my lane. On February 15th, the day after, I attended a vigil in Parkland and was asked by the mayor if I wanted to speak. And I did so. It was the start of my public life. And I'm going to clean this up, but my nephew, who is in here in this room somewhere, will remember what I said that entire week. I'm going to break that effing lobby, and we're going to go after their money. No offense to the many elected people in this room, but at that time I had no interest in legislators or legislation. In my eyes, that approach had been failing for the past 20 years. I wanted to go after the lobby that held legislators and legislation hostage. And you know what? It's working. It's the people in this room and the greatness of people across this country who inspire me and give me hope. So I am determined to lead an effort to change our public safety in ways that has not happened before. The change is being seen in the business world, companies like Dick's and Walmart, Bank of America, in legislative victories and the serious weakening of the NRA. Don't be fooled. Don't let up. They're hurting. They are in bad shape. They are still here. And so I tell you that because the relentless pressure that we put on them, no patting ourselves on the back. Keep that pressure. Keep going after them. Keep up the fight until they are as irrelevant as the tobacco lobby is today. We've not seen another 9/11-like event in this country because of the amazing work of groups in this country, elected officials and citizens, to ensure that we don't see another 9/11-like event in this country. That was one distinctly, uniquely American event that has been prevented again. Well, gun violence is also a distinctly, uniquely American event, but this country has not stepped up to solve it the same way, and we need to. Right now, in this country, we have approximately 40,000 people per year who die of gun violence. Almost half of that is actually suicides. And we do nothing about it. We've been doing not enough about it. In the time that I'm speaking to all of you, somebody is learning they're the newest victim of gun violence. Somebody is finishing burying a victim of gun violence, and somebody is planning a funeral for a victim of gun violence. That is not normal. And so I hope you agree with me. Enough is enough, and we're going to keep this fight going, because until a future president, one more election cycle, with a Senate that agrees to take up what the House passes for a vote, we can't clap just yet. but we're getting there. Before finishing, I just want to tell you a little bit about orange ribbons for Jaime. And you'll notice you all have the orange ribbons, and I'm glad to see them all through the crowd. My daughter was a beautiful, competitive dancer. Orange happened to have been her favorite color. Amazingly, orange is not the color that I use in my foundation because it's associated with the gun safety movement. It was Jaime's favorite color. The night Jaime died, her dance friends all got together and made orange ribbons. And they came over wearing their orange ribbons, and they brought a bunch of them to our house to give out. As kids do, a picture of them went on Facebook. And within 24 hours, the orange ribbon went viral through the dance world. And in about 48 hours, Broadway started dedicating shows to my daughter, Hamilton, The Lion King, and others, and they were all wearing orange ribbons. The orange ribbon for me is Jaime. Weeks later, I was wearing my orange ribbon, just like the ones that you're all wearing today. And someone said to me, "Why are you wearing that ribbon?" And I told them my story. And they said, "Do you know that's the color of the gun safety movement?" I was like, "No, I wasn't like experienced at this." But that was the day that I decided to start this foundation. And it is my goal to make the orange ribbon the symbol of this movement. I was super proud when background checks got signed by the House to see Speaker Pelosi and everyone else there wearing their orange ribbons. And you know what? It's a unifying symbol that I think we can all rally around. Orange ribbons for Jaime exists right now to deal with not only why Jaime's life was cut short, but also why Jaime lived. We give out scholarships to the dance community. My daughter was dog obsessed, so we've donated to the Humane Society. As was mentioned before, she wanted to be a pediatric physical therapist, and there's a certain hospital that does surgeries on kids with limb deformities that we've been able to donate to. So for me, orange ribbons is my daughter. It's how I honor her every day of my life. In closing, I want to just say to everyone in this room, and especially the kids who I do see out there, we have levels of strength and resilience that we don't know about until we're tested. In my life, I've been unemployed and not sure how to pay bills. I've been a corporate employee with the highs and lows that go with that. And I've been a business owner, and trust me, with the highs and lows that go with that. Lots of ups and downs. What I can tell everyone in this room with certainty, none of it comes close to what I'm experiencing now. My prior worst moments do not compare. My hope is that from stories like mine, you all learn the lesson of perspective and get to know your resilience, because we're all a lot stronger, I think, than we give ourselves credit for. Remember my story when going through what seems like a bad moment or the worst moment in school, at work, in a business transaction. And then think back about all the other moments before that where you felt the same way and how you can't even remember what they were about. Moments go on. What matters is not just the moment, but how you react to it and what you do with it. This room, to me, is a shining example of gun violence prevention warriors and the proof that in some of the lowest moments are when our heroes and leaders are born. What you do with your moment matters. Make it count. Thank you. Thank you.